The Los Angeles County Courthouse buzzes with anticipation, a focal point of intense legal drama. Murmurs ripple through the crowd as onlookers speculate, adding to the electric atmosphere. Judge Marcus Hall sits impassively, his face a mask of practiced neutrality amidst the storm. At his table, Robert Kane, the prosecutor, stands poised, a confident smirk betraying his anticipation. The courtroom awaits, charged with expectation as the legal process unfolds. In the solemn hall of justice, 19-year-old Jordan Miles stands resolute, a study in composure amidst the storm. His calm demeanor belies the weight of the trial, a mask carefully crafted against the looming uncertainty. The courtroom buzzes, yet Jordan remains an island of tranquility, his eyes betraying nothing of the turmoil within. He projects an aura of quiet strength, a testament to his unwavering spirit in the face of adversity. Each breath is measured, each movement deliberate, as Jordan prepares to confront the day's trials. His presence commands attention, not through defiance, but through an unyielding dignity that fills the courtroom. Inside the Los Angeles County Courthouse, Prosecutor Kane commands attention as he stands before the jury. His voice, resonant and firm, fills the courtroom, capturing every listener's attention. With unwavering conviction, Kane asserts, "Ladies and gentlemen, the evidence will irrefutably demonstrate Jordan's guilt." He concludes with forceful assurance. "We have eyewitness testimony, and we have his fingerprints. The facts are undeniable." Amidst the solemnity of the Los Angeles County Courthouse, Jordan makes a bold move. His hand rises sharply, cutting through the courtroom's hushed anticipation. The prosecutor pauses mid-sentence, disrupted by Jordan's sudden action. Jordan's voice echoes through the room. "I will represent myself." A collective murmur fills the courtroom as Jordan's words hang in the air. All eyes fix on Jordan, his decision leaving an indelible mark on the tense atmosphere. Judge Hall's expression shifts from composed to surprised, a hint of doubt flickering in his eyes. A subtle chuckle escapes the prosecutor, his confidence bordering on arrogance. The prosecutor's amusement hints at underestimating Jordan's resolve. Judge Hall leans back, his face reflecting skepticism. In the warm glow of the kitchen, a young Jordan listens intently as Linda Miles shares stories. Linda Miles, a paralegal, vividly recounts tales of the justice system, her words painting a stark picture of its imperfections. Her stories reveal the system's flaws and biases, shaping Jordan's understanding of justice. The kitchen becomes a classroom where lessons on justice and its failings are taught. In the dimly lit kitchen, Linda stands by the counter, the open textbook a beacon of knowledge. Jordan sits opposite her, eyes wide and attentive, absorbing every word. Linda's voice cuts through the silence. "It's not always about guilt or innocence, Jordan. Sometimes it's about police misconduct, ineffective defense lawyers, and prosecutors who hide evidence." Inside the Los Angeles County Courthouse, Prosecutor Kane stands to present testimony. He calls Officer Tony Perez to the stand, ready to recount the events of that night. With a poised demeanor, Prosecutor Kane begins. "Officer Perez, can you please state for the court what you saw on the night in question?" Officer Perez, adjusting his posture, responds, "I saw Jordan in the stolen car." The courtroom watches intently, every face a mask of anticipation and concern, awaiting the implications of his words. The gravity of the testimony hangs heavy in the air, casting a pall over the proceedings. In the hushed courtroom, Jordan stands, a picture of composure and control. He gestures towards Officer Perez, who sits rigidly in the witness box. "Objection, Your Honor. I move to dismiss Officer Perez's testimony." Jordan elaborates his challenge with a calm demeanor. "Officer Perez claims he saw me. However, I was not present at the start of the chase. Therefore, it would have been impossible for him to have seen me at that time." The courtroom buzzes with muted anticipation. The prosecutor halts, sweat glistening on his brow. Judge Hall, imposing and stern, leans forward, his gaze intense. Judge Hall commands, "Check the GPS logs." A tense silence descends as all eyes turn towards the evidence table. The courtroom holds its breath, awaiting the revelation. Inside the Los Angeles County Courthouse, Prosecutor Kane advances, projecting fingerprint evidence for all to witness. The laser dances across the fingerprint image, highlighting the damning details. With sharp precision, Kane jabs at the swirling lines, emphasizing the critical area of the print. Kane's voice cuts through the courtroom, each word a calculated strike. This irrefutable evidence proves beyond any doubt that Jordan was behind the wheel. The jury looks on, their faces a mix of contemplation and growing certainty as the weight of Kane's words settles upon them. The projected image of the fingerprint looms large, a silent testament to the truth Kane unveils. Inside the courtroom, Jordan stands tall before the jury, his face a mask of determination. His voice echoes through the silent room, each word carefully chosen to sway their judgment. Jordan gestures emphatically, his movements sharp and deliberate. He poses a crucial question, challenging the very foundation of the accusation. Is touching a car enough to make someone a thief? Inside the Los Angeles County Courthouse, Jordan surveys the room, his gaze intense as he notices a vacant chair. A tense silence descends as Jordan rises to speak, his voice sharp and commanding. His words cut through the air, highlighting the inexplicable absence of the forensic expert. Jordan questions the integrity of the fingerprint evidence, demanding transparency. A ripple of unease spreads through the gallery as Jordan's accusations hang heavy in the air. In the solemn halls of the Los Angeles County Courthouse, Jordan steps forward, a statement in hand. The air thickens with anticipation as Jordan presents the car owner's account. Samuel Carter's words echo, "The thief, a white man." A stark contradiction pierces the room, a silent challenge to Jordan's presence. The weight of the discrepancy hangs heavy, casting a shadow over the proceedings. An unspoken tension fills the courthouse as gazes turn towards Jordan, the accused. The courtroom is filled with a collective intake of breath. Previously detached, Judge Hall now embodies intense concern. Judge Hall leans forward, his gaze piercing as he addresses the prosecutor. Judge Hall demands with urgency, "Confirm that, please." In the grandeur of the Los Angeles County Courthouse, Jordan stands as a solitary figure against the ornate backdrop. The courtroom falls silent as Jordan's voice echoes, the weight of Carter's words hanging in the air. With deliberate precision, Jordan reads aloud. "The thief was tall, maybe 6 feet, with dark hair and a noticeable scar above his left eye." The phrase, "a noticeable scar," reverberates, capturing the jury's rapt attention. Jordan emphasizes, "Note the description, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. A noticeable scar." The courtroom is filled with anticipation as the implications of the distinctive mark sink in. Inside the imposing Los Angeles County Courthouse, the air crackles with anticipation as the judge shifts, a subtle frown betraying his unease. A silent acknowledgement passes between the jury members, their glances weaving a web of unspoken thoughts. The case against Jordan teeters on the brink, its foundations crumbling beneath the weight of doubt. A ripple of unease spreads through the courtroom as the evidence against Jordan continues to weaken. Murmurs fill the air as the gravity of the situation dawns on the observers. Hope flickers in Jordan's eyes as the tide begins to turn in his favor. The Los Angeles County Courthouse is abuzz with quiet anticipation. Hushed whispers fill the courtroom as the trial pauses, thick with tension. The air crackles with the weight of unspoken revelations. Reporters scramble to file updates, their fingers dancing across keyboards. Every keystroke echoes the urgency of the unfolding drama. Judge Hall strides back into the courtroom, a tablet clutched tightly in his hand, his expression reflecting the gravity of the situation. His movements are decisive as he approaches the bench, his grim face a prelude to the revelations about to unfold. He places the tablet on the bench, a decisive tap of his finger highlighting the damning GPS logs displayed on its screen. Judge Hall's voice cuts through the silence. The GPS logs confirm that Officer Perez was not at the scene when the chase began. The courtroom gallery erupts in a symphony of disbelief, hushed whispers weaving through the tense air. The weight of the evidence hangs heavy, palpable in the silent reactions of the observers. Amidst the chaos, Jordan stands firm, his expression unyielding under the scrutiny. Jordan's gaze sweeps across the room, a silent acknowledgement of the storm his words have unleashed. The courtroom buzzes with tension as Prosecutor Kane sweats, struggling to steer the narrative. Kane gestures wildly, a desperate attempt to reclaim authority in the unfolding drama. Jordan stands unyielding, facing Kane with a gaze that blends disappointment and firm resolve. With unwavering conviction, Jordan declares, "That false testimony undermines the entire case." Jordan's accusation hangs heavy in the air, casting a shadow over the proceedings. In the heart of the Los Angeles County Courthouse, Jordan commands attention as she prepares to address the court. With calculated precision, Jordan adjusts her glasses, a subtle prelude to her sharp, incisive arguments. Jordan's voice cuts through the courtroom's silence, each word a deliberate challenge to the fingerprint evidence. She meticulously dissects the chain of custody, exposing cracks in the prosecution's case with unwavering resolve. The forensic expert's conspicuous absence amplifies the weight of Jordan's accusations, casting a shadow over the proceedings. The courtroom holds its breath, the silence punctuated only by Jordan's voice as she challenges the integrity of the evidence. In the hallowed courtroom, Jordan stands poised before the jury, her voice resonating with conviction. Her impassioned gestures fill the space, each motion underscoring her fiery resolve. Her eyes blaze with determination, challenging every doubt and hesitation in the room. She argues against the prosecution's claims, asserting that fingerprints alone do not equate to guilt. Jordan emphasizes the series of tenuous assumptions the prosecution asks the jury to accept. Her compelling narrative seeks to unravel the threads of doubt and weave a tapestry of truth before the watchful eyes of justice. Inside the tense courtroom, Jordan asserts her presence, standing tall with unwavering resolve. With a resounding thud, she slams Samuel Carter's official statement onto the table, the sound echoing her firm conviction. Jordan's voice cuts through the courtroom's silence, each word a precise strike. The car owner identified the thief as White. Her declaration hangs heavy in the air, reshaping the narrative of the trial. In the tense atmosphere of the courtroom, the jury shifts, their unease palpable. Doubt clouds their faces as they exchange furtive glances, a silent debate unfolding among them. Jordan's arguments linger, casting a shadow over the proceedings. The prosecution's once solid case begins to crumble, its foundation cracking under the weight of scrutiny. The air thickens with anticipation as the jury grapples with the implications before them. In the heart of the Los Angeles County Courthouse, Jordan stands defiant, his presence commanding attention. His unwavering gaze sweeps across the courtroom, challenging every doubt and prejudice. With a pointed finger, he ignites the tension, his accusation echoing through the silent hall. "I accuse the police of arresting me based on assumptions and racial bias, rather than actual evidence." The weight of injustice hangs heavy, a palpable force in the charged atmosphere. His words linger, a challenge to the system, demanding truth and justice prevail. A hush falls over the courtroom as Jordan's words hang in the air, charged with unspoken tension. Every face in the jury box reflects a deep contemplation, each lost in thought. The air thickens with anticipation as the weight of Jordan's words presses down. In the stillness, the future hangs suspended, teetering between justice and despair. The courtroom is hushed, anticipation hanging heavy in the air as the afternoon session begins. Each person present is lost in thought, their faces a study in anxiety and expectation. The weight of the impending verdict presses down, creating an atmosphere thick with tension. The courtroom waits, poised on the edge of resolution, as the clock ticks with agonizing slowness. In the solemn atmosphere of the Los Angeles County Courthouse, Prosecutor Kane stands, his posture reflecting defeat. A wave of resignation washes over Kane as he prepares to address the court. With a voice barely audible, Kane's admission hangs heavily in the air. Kane announces, "Your Honor, the prosecution has no further witnesses or evidence to present." The courtroom holds its breath, absorbing the profound implications of Kane's statement. Defeated, Kane's shoulders slump further as the weight of the trial's outcome settles upon him. In the solemn heart of the Los Angeles County Courthouse, Judge Hall presides with an unyielding gaze. With a gesture, Judge Hall directs the courtroom's attention to Jordan, a young man poised on the precipice of destiny. Jordan steps into the light, his slightly rumpled suit a stark contrast to the gravity of the moment. A sea of faces watches with bated breath as Jordan adjusts his tie, a subtle act masking a storm of emotions. A flicker of determination ignites in Jordan's eyes, a silent promise of the words he is about to speak. Judge Hall's voice cuts through the silence. "Mr. Jordan, do you have any final words for the jury?" In the heart of the courthouse, Jordan commands attention, his gaze sharp, his presence undeniable. With a sweeping gesture, Jordan begins to dissect the prosecution's narrative, his confidence building with each word. His voice, a powerful weapon, resonates through the courtroom as he exposes the inconsistencies. Like a skilled surgeon, Jordan lays bare the false assumptions, revealing the shaky foundations beneath. Each carefully chosen word is a hammer blow, dismantling the prosecution's case piece by piece. The courtroom hangs in suspense as Jordan's final revelations leave the prosecution's case in ruins. In the heart of the Los Angeles County Courthouse, Jordan stands as a beacon of resolve. His voice booms, each word a thunderclap that shatters the courtroom's silence. He unveils the deceit woven into the prosecution's case, each flaw magnified by his unwavering gaze. Jordan exposes the gaps in evidence, revealing the false testimony that led to his arrest. He confronts the specter of racial bias, his voice a defiant roar against injustice. Sunlight floods the courtroom, each beam a spotlight on the quest for justice. Jordan stands before the jury, his face an open book of sincerity and hope. "I ask you today to choose truth over assumptions," Jordan pleads, his voice echoing in the silent room. "To look beyond the surface and see what is really there," he urges, his eyes searching each face for a glimmer of understanding. Jordan's final plea hangs in the air. "Appeal to your sense of justice." In the solemn silence of the Los Angeles County Courthouse, Jordan's confident return to his seat amplifies the courtroom's tension. The soft echo of his heels underscores the gravity of the impending verdict. He settles, his presence a stark contrast to the nervous anticipation pervading the air. Jordan's unwavering gaze locks onto the judge and jury, the arbiters of his fate. The weight of the looming decision presses down, palpable in the heavy atmosphere. The fate of justice hangs in the balance, suspended in the quiet anticipation of the courtroom. Inside the Los Angeles County Courthouse, Judge Hall sits alone, the weight of the courtroom pressing down on him. His gaze shifts from the legal papers to the vacant seats, a silent echo of those absent. The silence of the room amplifies the gravity of the choice before him. The weight of justice rests heavily on his shoulders, his expression a mask of contemplation. The courtroom is hushed, every breath held in anticipation as Judge Hall prepares to speak. A palpable tension fills the room, amplifying every small movement. The air crackles with unspoken expectations as all eyes focus on the judge. Silence descends, broken only by the pounding hearts of those awaiting the verdict. The gavel strikes, its sound a thunderclap in the tense air. Judge Hall's pronouncement reverberates through the courtroom. Case dismissed. A collective gasp fills the courtroom as the weight of the judge's words sinks in. The silence is deafening as the courtroom absorbs the impact of the verdict. The tense atmosphere hangs heavy, thick with unspoken emotions. Emerging from the courthouse, Jordan steps into a sea of flashing lights and clamoring voices. The crowd surges forward, a mix of reporters and supporters eager to touch the man who defied expectations. Jordan, the free man, savors the moment as he is swallowed by the throng. A wave of elation washes over Jordan as he realizes the battle is won. Under the relentless Los Angeles sun, Jordan strides forward, his figure stark against the vibrant city backdrop. His brow furrows with the weight of recent trials, each step echoing the complex dance of justice and disillusionment. The harsh realities of the legal system etch themselves onto his face, a visible testament to lessons hard-earned and dearly paid for. He walks on, a solitary figure burdened by the heavy cost of invaluable knowledge. In the soft glow of the evening, Jordan and his mother share a quiet moment on the sofa, a gentle understanding weaving between them. Weariness lingers in their eyes, yet a profound sense of peace envelops them, a silent testament to their bond. The room is filled with a comfortable silence, a shared history echoing in the quiet space between them. In this tranquil haven, the weight of the world seems to fade, replaced by the soothing balm of mutual presence and unspoken affection. The Los Angeles County Courthouse stands as a formidable symbol of justice, bustling with the day's urgent proceedings. The camera pans across the courthouse, capturing the frenetic energy of individuals engaged in legal proceedings. Inside the courthouse, every corner whispers stories of lives intertwined with the pursuit of justice. A wide view captures the essence of the courthouse, the air thick with anticipation. The courthouse remains a beacon of hope and resolution amidst the chaos and uncertainty. The courtroom awaits, heavy with anticipation. Judge Hall enters, his face betraying a weariness that belies the importance of the proceedings. His gaze sweeps across the room, a silent acknowledgement of the gravity of the matters at hand. He settles into his seat, his movements measured, hinting at the long hours he has spent presiding over justice. The courtroom holds its breath as Judge Hall prepares to begin. In the hushed intensity of the courtroom, Jordan Miles stands in quiet anticipation, his youthful face a study in poised resolve. His silence speaks volumes amidst the legal theater, a young man's dignity holding firm against the towering weight of justice. Every line on his face reflects a story untold, a battle fought in the quiet corners of his heart, now laid bare for all to see. The courtroom holds its breath, the fate of a young man hanging in the balance, his quiet strength radiating against the imposing backdrop. Inside the courtroom, Prosecutor Kane's smug expression fills the room with self-assurance. His posture exudes confidence, signaling a formidable presence in the legal arena. Every movement is calculated, reinforcing his control over the unfolding narrative. The courtroom holds its breath, anticipating the next move in this high-stakes game. A hush falls over the courtroom, every gaze drawn to Jordan's unwavering presence. Jordan's quiet confidence fills the silent room. With resolute calm, Jordan declares, "Your Honor, I'll represent myself." His words echo through the courtroom, marking the beginning of an unexpected trial. The courtroom is alive with hushed anticipation, every breath held in check. On the bench, the judge's lips hint at a suppressed amusement, his eyebrows lifting slightly. The prosecutor stands, a low chuckle escaping his lips, his confidence palpable. Tension coils in the air. The judge surveys the scene, his gaze sweeping over the courtroom. A silent battle of wills is about to begin. In the softly lit kitchen, shadows dance as young Jordan sits restlessly at the table. Linda watches over her son, her face a mask of tenderness and concern. The warm glow of the kitchen light creates an intimate sanctuary. Young Jordan's small hands betray his inner turmoil, fidgeting with nervous energy. Linda stands as a silent guardian, her presence a beacon of unwavering support. The kitchen becomes a stage for unspoken emotions. Bathed in a soft, comforting light, the kitchen appears under the stark light, every item in its place. Linda enters, her face a mask of quiet determination as she surveys the scene. The system often fails people who can't fight back. Her words hang in the air, a stark commentary on the silent, sterile environment. The courtroom stands silent, sunlight slicing through the tall windows, illuminating the dust. Lawyers sit at polished tables, their faces grim as they await the trial's start. The prosecutor rises, his voice cutting through the silence. Officer Perez saw the defendant in the car. His words hang heavy in the air, casting a shadow over the defendant. The courtroom waits, suspended between anticipation and dread. The courtroom falls silent, every gaze drawn to Jordan as he stands, radiating confidence. Jordan's presence fills the space, his controlled intensity palpable. With unwavering resolve, Jordan breaks the silence. "I move to dismiss Officer Perez's claim." His words hang in the air, challenging the very foundations of the case. The courtroom is silent as the stern judge surveys the scene from the bench. His gaze is unwavering, his expression unreadable. The weight of the courtroom hangs heavy in the air. The judge's voice cuts through the silence. On what grounds? His words echo through the room, demanding an explanation. The courtroom awaits the response, holding its breath. The courtroom buzzes with a palpable tension, the air thick with unspoken anticipation. Jurors sit with rapt attention, their eyes darting between the lawyers. Jordan rises, her voice cutting through the tension with a sharp declaration. Because he wasn't there when the chase began. Check his GPS logs. Her words hang in the air, a challenge to the established narrative. The courtroom holds its breath, waiting for the impact of her revelation. A palpable tension fills the courtroom, every breath held in anticipation. The prosecutor pauses, sweat glistening on their forehead, a moment stretched into an eternity. The prosecutor hesitates, hand trembling slightly as they contemplate the next move. The jury sits in rapt attention, their expressions a blend of judgment and curiosity. Each juror's gaze is fixed, a silent verdict brewing behind their eyes. The weight of justice hangs heavy, a decision poised to change lives forever. The courtroom hums with hushed anticipation, a battleground of destinies about to unfold. The prosecutor strides with purpose, a predator ready to strike. A transparent evidence bag is lifted high, its contents poised to reveal a concealed truth. Fingerprint patterns emerge starkly, each swirl a silent scream of guilt or innocence. Sunlight pierces the courtroom, casting long shadows as Jordan prepares to address the jury. Jordan stands, his expression a mask of determination as he prepares to speak. Jordan poses a thought-provoking question to the jury. If you touch a car door, and hours later someone steals it, does that make you the thief? Jordan's words hang in the air, challenging the jurors' perceptions. The weight of Jordan's question settles upon the courtroom, as each juror contemplates the implications. Jordan's intense gaze sweeps across the jury, seeking understanding and justice. In the solemn courtroom, a stern judge presides over a sea of faces, the air thick with anticipation. Spectators fill the courtroom, their expressions a mixture of curiosity and apprehension. Lawyers stand ready, their faces etched with determination as they prepare for the legal battle ahead. The judge's gaze pierces through the silence, commanding attention as he urges, "Go on." Court staff move with quiet efficiency, maintaining order in the tense environment. The courtroom buzzes with anticipation, lawyers meticulously arranging papers, jurors sitting upright, and the gallery overflowing with onlookers. All eyes converge on Jordan, the lead attorney, as tension mounts. Jordan's voice cuts through the silence. And where is the forensic expert? The courtroom holds its breath, awaiting the expert's arrival. Jordan stands alone in the courtroom, a single sheet of paper held aloft, lights swirling around him. Sunlight floods the silent courtroom, illuminating the truth hanging in the balance. Jordan's voice echoes in the solemn space as he declares, "This is the car owner's statement." The weight of the statement hangs heavy. He told police the thief was white, not me. In the heart of justice, Jordan's words challenge the shadows of prejudice and doubt. The courtroom holds its breath, awaiting the revelation that could change everything. A wave of collective astonishment sweeps through the courtroom, every face turned toward an unseen spectacle. The air crackles with suspense, the silence amplifying the unspoken drama. An invisible force grips the room, holding every soul captive in its gaze. The weight of the unknown presses down, each breath held in anticipation of a revelation. A shared moment of disbelief binds the room, as reality seems to bend at the edges. The courtroom holds its breath, poised on the precipice of an earth-shattering truth. Sunlight pierces through the high windows of the courtroom. The tense atmosphere is thick with anticipation. The judge's gaze is fixed on the prosecutor, her expression serious and probing. The judge's voice cuts through the silence, demanding truth. Is this true? The courtroom hangs in breathless anticipation, awaiting the prosecutor's response. In the stark courtroom, Jordan stands under the spotlight, a solitary figure ready to face the truth. He pauses, adjusting the microphone, his gaze sweeping across the intense faces in the room. Jordan settles his gaze on the statement, a visible resolve hardening his expression. With a deep breath, he begins. "I left the car running." His voice firm, Jordan continues. "A white kid jumped in and drove off." He concludes with finality. "Not the one police arrested." A palpable unease settles over the courtroom as the jury members murmur, their faces etched with concern and speculation. Each hushed tone echoes the weight of their decision, casting shadows of doubt and anticipation throughout the room. The air thickens with unspoken questions, their collective uncertainty hanging heavy over the proceedings. The jury's quiet deliberation transforms the courtroom into a stage of silent drama, where every gesture speaks volumes. The weight of justice bears down as the jury's subtle movements hint at the monumental decision looming. In a moment suspended between hope and dread, the jury's silent discourse shapes the fate of all involved. The courtroom holds its breath, thick with unspoken tension and the weight of impending judgment. All eyes fixate on the judge, whose face transforms from lighthearted amusement to an inscrutable mask. His gaze sweeps across the room, each person feeling the intensity of his silent assessment. The air crackles with anticipation, as the fate of those present hangs in the balance. Every rustle and whisper amplifies the gravity of the moment as the courtroom awaits the pronouncement. In the heart of the courtroom, Jordan's hopes begin to unravel, his face a mask of stark defeat. Each fallen piece of evidence echoes in the silence, marking the collapse of his meticulously constructed case. The weight of the crumbling case presses down, each moment a stark reminder of his diminishing chances. The courtroom buzzes with hushed anticipation as Jordan's defense weakens, his initial resolve now shadowed by despair. His meticulous preparation crumbles before the court, leaving him vulnerable and exposed in the harsh light of justice. The dream of victory fades, replaced by the cold reality of defeat as the courtroom watches his carefully built case fall apart. The courtroom awaits, silent and still, as the short recess begins. A moment of hushed anticipation hangs in the air, the weight of justice ever present. The courtroom doors stand as portals to the unknown, ready to swing open. With a sudden creak, the doors swing open, breaking the silence. Anticipation builds as unseen figures begin to stir beyond the threshold. The courtroom, now breached, braces for the return of its players. The courtroom holds its breath, every eye fixed on the judge as he reviews the evidence. The tension in the courtroom tightens, anticipation hanging heavy in the air. The judge's voice cuts through the silence, delivering a damning revelation. Officer Tony Perez wasn't at the scene when the chase began. His words echo through the room, casting doubt on the official narrative. A ripple of unease spreads as the implications of the judge's statement sink in. The courtroom remains suspended in disbelief, the truth poised to unravel. The courtroom is charged with anticipation, the air thick with unspoken expectations. Eager faces fill the gallery, each one craning for a better view of the unfolding legal drama. Reporters are poised, pens dancing feverishly across their notebooks, capturing every nuance of the proceedings. The tension is palpable, a silent hum of anticipation vibrating through the very walls of the courtroom. Every rustle of paper, every hushed whisper, amplifies the gravity of the moment, heightening the collective suspense. The courtroom awaits, a stage set for a drama where lives hang in the balance. In the tense courtroom, Jordan's expression remains unchanged. The courtroom awaits Jordan's reaction, but his face is a stone mask. Jordan's calm is a stark contrast to the turmoil around him. The tension builds as Jordan's face betrays nothing. A stoic figure, Jordan reveals nothing of his inner thoughts. Jordan's unchanging face is a puzzle to all who watch. The courtroom buzzes with hushed anticipation, a heavy silence hanging as the trial unfolds. The prosecutor gestures with conviction, his voice resonating through the room. He declares, his tone unwavering, "This doesn't change the fact that the defendant's fingerprints were on the steering wheel." The weight of the evidence hangs in the air, pressing down on the defendant. The courtroom is filled with a palpable tension, the air thick with anticipation. Jordan's voice fills the silent courtroom, each word resonating with the weight of truth. Sunlight streams through the high windows, casting long shadows across the room. Jordan declares, "It changes everything. It means the officer lied under oath." The courtroom holds its breath, awaiting the repercussions of Jordan's explosive statement. An intense silence grips the courtroom, every gaze fixed intently on the prosecutor. All present wait with bated breath, anticipation hanging heavy in the air. The judge's voice cuts through the silence, demanding, "Do you have any explanation for this?" The weight of the question hangs heavy, the silence amplifying the gravity of the moment. The courtroom simmers with anticipation, every whisper amplifying the gravity of the moment. Jordan stands resolute, his unwavering gaze cutting through the tension-filled air. Jordan declares, "The officer wasn't where he said he was." His words echo in the silence, exposing a critical flaw. The state's entire story starts falling apart right there. Inside the courtroom, the jury's faces reflect the gravity of their decision, each expression a subtle battleground of hope and apprehension. Concern etches itself onto some faces, while others flicker with a fragile glimmer of hope, the tension thick enough to taste. The courtroom air is heavy with the weight of the trial, each breath a reminder of the lives hanging in the balance. Each juror becomes a silent protagonist, their inner turmoil shaping the fate of those entwined in the trial's narrative. In this crucible of justice, the jury's deliberation hangs like a sword, ready to fall and forever alter destinies. The courtroom buzzes with anticipation as lawyers fidget and whispers fill the air. Jordan stands tall, his expression serious, as he prepares to address the court. With a commanding presence, Jordan begins, "Let's talk about this evidence." His words cut through the tension, demanding attention. Jordan's challenge hangs in the air. "Where is the forensic specialist?" The courtroom awaits the answer, every face turned toward Jordan. The courtroom buzzes with hushed tension, lawyers whispering, and the jury watching with intense focus. The jury observes, their expressions a mix of anticipation and solemnity as they await the unfolding drama. A sense of anticipation hangs heavy in the air as the prosecutor prepares to make a decisive statement. With unwavering conviction, the prosecutor declares, "The report speaks for itself." The courtroom falls silent, every eye drawn to the report as its contents become the focal point of the trial. The courtroom is bathed in sunlight, dust motes dancing in the golden rays. The room is packed with hushed anticipation, every breath held. Jordan stands firm, his gaze intense, a pillar of resolve amidst the tension. Jordan's voice cuts through the silence. "No, it doesn't." He challenges the very foundation of the trial. "Evidence doesn't speak." Jordan concludes with unwavering conviction. "People do." A palpable unease fills the courtroom as jurors shift restlessly, their silent anticipation building. The air thickens with unspoken tension, each movement a sign of the looming decision. A collective shuffle ripples through the jury box, a physical manifestation of the weight of their verdict. Every small gesture amplifies the gravity of the moment, the jurors' unease mirroring the stakes at hand. The courtroom holds its breath, the jurors' collective restlessness signaling a pivotal turning point. The courtroom buzzes with a palpable tension, every whisper amplified in the sterile air. Jordan stands, an island of resolve in a sea of uncertainty. With unwavering conviction, Jordan's finger points accusingly, a silent challenge echoing through the room. Jordan's voice cuts through the silence. "Fingerprints prove you touched something. That's it." The weight of Jordan's words hangs heavy, each syllable a hammer blow. The courtroom holds its breath, awaiting the fallout of Jordan's stark declaration. In the solemn courtroom, Jordan advances toward the jury. The weight of the moment hangs heavy as Jordan approaches. Each step amplifies the silence, punctuated only by Jordan's deliberate advance. The air crackles with anticipation as Jordan draws closer. The culmination of the trial rests on each measured step Jordan takes. In the solemn courtroom, light pierces through the tall windows, casting an ethereal glow on the proceedings. The public gallery buzzes with hushed anticipation, every eye drawn to the unfolding drama. Jordan rises, his voice cutting through the tense silence, challenging perceptions. If you touch a jacket in a store, and hours later someone steals it, does that make you the thief? Inside the courtroom, the judge's gaze sweeps across the space, landing pointedly on the prosecutor. A silent challenge hangs heavy in the air. The weight of expectation settles. The courtroom awaits the next move. In the tense courtroom, Jordan prepares to reveal more evidence. Jordan pulls out a sheet of paper, ready to introduce it. Jordan announces, "This is the official statement from the car's owner, Samuel Carter." The courtroom holds its breath, awaiting the impact of Samuel Carter's statement. The weight of the evidence hangs heavy as Jordan presents the statement. The courtroom is filled with anticipation as Jordan prepares to address the jury. Jordan begins, his voice resonating through the packed courtroom. He asserts, "Mr. Carter told officers he left the car running outside a gas station." With unwavering conviction, Jordan continues, "He saw the thief. He told them the thief was white." Jordan pauses, allowing his words to sink in. In a powerful declaration, he concludes, "I am not." A collective gasp sweeps through the courtroom gallery. Whispers erupt as the spectators absorb the unexpected revelation. The air crackles with suspense. Every face reflects disbelief. The courtroom holds its breath. The courtroom stills into complete silence, every gaze drawn towards the figure of authority. The judge leans forward, his face an inscrutable mask, heightening the tension. Anticipation hangs heavy as all await the pronouncement. The air crackles with unspoken tension. Each person holds their breath, suspended between hope and despair. The fate of those involved balances on the edge of the judge's words. In the solemn courtroom, Jordan extends a paper to the bailiff. The bailiff reaches out to receive the document, the courtroom holding its breath. The exchange occurs, a silent transfer of fate in the heart of justice. The bailiff clutches the paper, his expression unreadable. The courtroom watches, every eye fixed on the bailiff and the paper he now holds. The paper rests in the bailiff's firm grip. The courtroom buzzes with tension as the prosecutor struggles to maintain a facade of calm. Scattered papers litter the table, visual echoes of the intense legal battle. A sheen of sweat glistens on the prosecutor's brow, betraying the inner turmoil. In a subtle gesture, the prosecutor adjusts their tie, a fleeting glimpse of vulnerability. The prosecutor attempts to regain composure, the weight of the trial pressing down. The courtroom's sterile atmosphere presses down as Jordan stands at the witness stand, his face a mask of indignation and simmering frustration. Sunlight pierces through the tall windows, illuminating the courtroom. Jordan gestures emphatically, his voice rising as he tries to convey the true distance. Jordan asserts, his voice edged with disbelief, "Near it? I was walking home after getting snacks with my friends." He concludes with the simple truth. The car was left blocks away. The courtroom awaits, filled with a silent anticipation, as sunlight pierces through the tall windows. Dust motes dance in the sunlit air, casting an ethereal glow on the scene. The jury's gaze bears down, each face a mask of curiosity and silent judgment. The weight of their scrutiny hangs heavy in the air, shaping the fate of the accused. The courtroom buzzes with barely suppressed tension, every whisper a spark in the powder keg. The jury, a mosaic of doubt and judgment, watches with unwavering intensity. The defendant sits, a statue carved from anxiety, every muscle screaming innocence or guilt. Jordan's voice cuts through the silence like a blade. The real thief got away, and the police grabbed the first black kid they saw nearby. The courtroom is silent as Jordan moves closer. Jordan advances with purpose. Tension fills the air as Jordan approaches. Jordan's presence looms. The courtroom is thick with anticipation as Jordan rises to speak, sunlight casting long shadows across the room. Silence descends as Jordan prepares to challenge the court's preconceived notions. Jordan's voice cuts through the silence. "This case isn't about evidence." His words hang in the air. "It's about assumptions." A heavy silence blankets the courtroom, stifling every sound. The air hangs thick with anticipation. Dust motes dance in the faint light filtering through the high windows. A palpable tension fills the space. Every breath is held, Every heart pounds in anticipation. The weight of justice settles over the room. In the solemn courtroom, Jordan walks with purpose, returning to the defense table. The weight of the trial hangs heavy as Jordan approaches. At the defense table, Jordan's presence commands attention. The courtroom watches, expectant and still, as Jordan settles in. Jordan prepares, the anticipation palpable in the air. The courtroom hums with a palpable tension, whispers swirling like dust motes in the heavy air. Under the weight of the day's grim proceedings, Judge's face reflects the gravity of his position. He wearily rubs his temple, a silent plea for clarity in the midst of legal complexities. The fate of justice hangs heavy. Each breath held, each glance measured in the tense chamber. The courtroom awaits. The judge pauses, and the air thickens with anticipation. The somber atmosphere amplifies every hushed word and nervous shuffle. The courtroom hums under fluorescent lights, its polished wood reflecting a sterile ambiance. A prosecutor stands at his table, a fortress of documents rising before him. He shuffles papers, a silent prelude to the legal storm about to unfold. The polished wood of the benches reflects the fluorescent lights, adding to the intense atmosphere. The prosecutor shuffles the papers again, the sound echoing in the otherwise silent courtroom. The weight of the impending trial hangs heavy in the air, a palpable tension. The courtroom holds its breath, heavy with the unresolved echoes of the morning's drama. Sunlight paints dancing dust motes in the air, a silent ballet in the suspended anticipation. A lone court reporter remains, her pen scratching against paper as she meticulously relives the day's events. The judge's bench waits, an empty throne promising the resumption of justice. Amidst the palpable tension of the courtroom, Jordan Miles maintains an unyielding calm. His face remains a mask of serenity, unreadable to those who watch him. The weight of the trial seems to have no effect as he sits, a pillar of resolve. His stillness amplifies the chaotic energy swirling around him. His eyes reflect nothing but steady determination, piercing through the courtroom's atmosphere. His unwavering expression is a beacon in the storm of the trial. A hush falls over the courtroom, heavy with anticipation and the weight of justice. Each rustle of paper echoes through the silent chamber, amplifying the gravity of the proceedings. The weight of the case bears down on the prosecutor, pressing him with immense pressure. The prosecutor meticulously double-checks his notes, ensuring every detail is accounted for. In the somber courtroom, the prosecutor braces himself, fully prepared to confront the truth. The courtroom holds its breath, the silence broken only by the faint hum of fluorescent lights. Judge Thompson, a man weathered by time, sits upon the bench, his face a canvas of weariness. His gaze, heavy with the weight of countless judgments, sweeps across the room. He adjusts his glasses, a subtle gesture revealing the burden of his office. Fatigue etches deep lines into his face, a testament to the trials he has overseen. The weight of justice settles upon him as he surveys the silent room, his eyes reflecting the gravity of the moment. The courtroom is hushed, thick with unspoken tension. Sunlight pierces through the towering windows, casting long shadows. The air crackles with anticipation, every breath held, every heart pounding. The judge sits at the bench, eyes focused. The judge breaks the silence. Mr. Kane, does the state have any more witnesses? The courtroom is hushed, heavy with the weight of impending judgment. Lawyers stand like statues, their faces grim as they await the verdict. The air crackles with tension. Every breath is held, every eye is forward. The prosecutor rises, his voice echoing in the tense silence. No, Your Honor. His denial hangs in the air, unanswered, amplifying the courtroom's heavy atmosphere. The courtroom is hushed, every gaze fixed on the figure of authority. A palpable tension fills the air, thick with unspoken expectations. Silence hangs heavy as the judge's voice cuts through the stillness. The question echoes. Any further evidence? The courtroom awaits, suspended between justice and truth. The courtroom holds its breath, a tableau of solemn expectation under the judge's unyielding watch. The prosecutor stands firm, a pillar of resolve as he adjusts his tie, his eyes reflecting steely determination. Under the weight of scrutiny, the jury observes, their expressions a mosaic of contemplation and judgment. In the charged atmosphere, the prosecutor's resolve hardens, his voice ringing with conviction as he declares, "No, Your Honor." The courtroom's silence intensifies, every eye fixed on the prosecutor as the weight of his words hangs in the air. The judge remains impassive, his gaze fixed on the prosecutor, as the courtroom anticipates the next move. The courtroom is thick with anticipation, as all eyes focus on Mr. Miles. Mr. Miles's face remains impassive under the intense scrutiny. The judge's gaze pierces through the silence, demanding a response. The judge prompts, "Mr. Miles, anything else you'd like to say?" The courtroom waits, breathless, for Mr. Miles's final words. In the charged atmosphere of the courtroom, Jordan rises, a figure of determination. He begins to walk, each step echoing with purpose through the silent room. The air thickens with anticipation as he advances, drawing every eye. He is moving with resolve, his presence commanding the attention of all present. He approaches the front, the room holding its breath. Jordan reaches his destination, the focal point of the courtroom now centered on him. Inside the courtroom, a palpable tension hangs heavy in the air. Jordan stands tall before the jury, his face a mask of unwavering resolve. Jordan begins his final address with conviction. "You've seen the evidence," he continues, his voice resonating with truth. "You've heard the testimony, and you've seen how it fell apart." In the tense courtroom, lawyers murmur, and the jury's eyes fix intently on the unfolding drama. Jordan stands firm, a beacon of resolve against the backdrop of hushed anticipation. Jordan's voice cuts through the tension. "The officer who said he saw me driving? His own GPS shows he wasn't there." The jury absorbs the unexpected revelation. The courtroom holds its breath. The courtroom is bathed in a solemn light, the air heavy with expectation. Jordan's controlled passion fills the courtroom as he addresses the jury. Jordan challenges the evidence. The fingerprints? No chain of custody. He continues. No forensic expert here to answer questions. Inside the tense courtroom, Jordan exudes an air of unshakable confidence. Jordan declares with certainty. And the car owner himself told police the thief was white. "I'm not," Judge Hall declares. This case is dismissed. The courtroom erupts in hushed whispers as the weight of the judge's words settles.